You want to know something really, really weird? There's this guy now, and he's over 18. I think he's like 20 or something. Anyway, he still believes in Santa Claus. You know why? It was because he was told about Santa Claus being real when he was a little child. So it's really hard for this guy to not believe in Santa anymore because, he was told about him when he was little. Another reason I feel bad for this guy, when he's older, he's going to realize that his parents told him this really, really mean lie. They just straight up lied to him for no reason. I mean, it's not like they wanted him to have like a magical childhood and when he gets older, remember the nostalgic feelings of believing in Santa and sitting in his lap and thinking of the reindeer tales and all the little elves making toys in the North Pole and all of that. I mean, why would they lie to his son about something like that? That's just so malicious. I mean, I really don't think that that lie was done out of love. I would have to say it's just as bad as lying to your kids about if they don't eat all the food on their plate, that they're not going to grow strong and they're going to shrink. Because that's a pretty bad lie, too. I can think of a lot of other bad lies. Like once I heard that this mom told her kid that if you ran near the pool, that there were sharks in the pool and they would eat him. That's such a malicious lie. I mean, I don't know why the mom would say that. Lying to your kids about that, but then not lying to your kids about religion, like not wanting them to believe in the words written in ancient holy books, that doesn't make any sense, okay? Because we all know that when you tell your kids about Santa Claus, that you're threatening them. You're telling them if they don't believe in Santa Claus, that they are going to burn forever and be tortured for eternity if they don't believe in him. If you tell your kids about Santa Claus, that's pretty scary. You are inflicting fear in them. And it makes you pretty prejudiced too, because if other people don't believe in Santa Claus, you see them as bad people. Really bad people. Everybody knows that this guy who's like 21 and still believes in Santa Claus, I mean, when he was 15, he could have asked his parents, does Santa Claus exist? And his parents would probably still tell him, yeah, Santa Claus exists and you better believe in Santa. It's so wrong if you don't. But if a religious kid asks their parents at 16 years old, is it true about the story of Adam and Eve and the talking snake and Noah's Ark, that the parents are going to tell that child, oh, no, 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 that was just, all religions have these holy books. It was because back then we were more barbaric. We didn't know much about science, and they needed to control the masses, and that was really the only way. I mean, there were religions way before Christianity that are just like Christianity. They all kind of molded and evolved over the years, but they still have like the same characters. Like the Muhammad and the Jesus are literally the exact character, just a different story, just a different tale. So that's what a parent's gonna tell a child when it deals with religion, duh. But with Santa, no way. Kids believe that stuff forever. It's really bad. I mean, I can't think of anything worse than lying to your kid about Santa Claus. Well, no, I take that back. Actually, I can. Because there are shows like Care Bears and Rugrats, and I'll just talk about Rugrats for right now. And, these kids are watching shows like Rugrats, and they're really thinking that these babies are able to talk and do all this stuff. And the parents aren't even letting the kids know that it's just a cartoon. So these 4 and 5-year-olds that are watching this show Rugrats are really thinking that these animations are indeed real. And it's so horrifying to their spirit and their souls. It's just, oh. But okay. Realistically speaking, I'm not going to be sarcastic anymore. I'm being completely serious right now. How can people ask, why would you teach your kid about Santa, but you care about them joining a religion? That is putting your devoted, heartfelt religion on the same level as a tale like the tale of Santa Claus. Like, is it really even comparable? If it's so blatantly obvious that the words written in religious holy books are fact, then how can you even put that on the same level as the fantasy, the obvious blatant fantasy of tales like Santa Claus and stuff. I mean, why even compare those two? The kid's obviously going to get older and know that Santa is not real because there were no threats involved, and the rest of the family doesn't believe in it. And you don't see anybody as adults taking it seriously. Unlike religion, the tales that are told in the Bhagavad Gita, in the Bible and the Torah and the Quran, people as adults believe in those tales. And it's because they were not taught them as children with the intent to later see that it's just a tale. They're almost threatened to believe this stuff as kids, indirectly threatened, and it is associated with feelings of fear, inadequacy. It inflicts an inferiority complex on people. They feel like they're not good enough. They feel like they're bad people, and it's this never-ending cycle because they feel, oh, I'm a really bad person. I've got to believe in this, or I'll be a bad person. And believing in Santa or telling your kid about Santa does not teach that in any way. And believing in Santa Claus brings magic into a child's life. It brings magic. That's why we as adults, we have that feeling every time we hear a Christmas song or we see red and green and gold colored lights, and we see Santa, and we associate all of that with our childhood, even if we don't realize we really are. And it feels so good because it was such a fun, spirited thing as a child. And there's nothing wrong with fibbing to your kid about that, especially if your kid asks you and you admit to them, well, no. But if the kid doesn't ask, so what? It's a harmless lie. It's no different than fibbing to your kid about they're going to shrink if they don't eat all their food. It's no different. It's all in good interest of the child. Religion is all self-serving. It's all about saving your ass, basically. And you have to obviously involve your kid in that too, because that would be horrible not to. So you're indoctrinating these innocent children, basically brainwashing them. This is every religion. I'm not just singling out one religion. I thought I would just clear that up though, because I've been asked numerous times about, everybody knows I'm agnostic. And so they know I'm not sitting here teaching my kids about religious anything. Although I do let my son go to church with my mother-in-law. But, I'm not like enforcing them to believe any religion, of course, because I'm agnostic. So people immediately, when they hear that I'm letting them believe in Santa Claus, turn and they're like, you're going to let your kid believe in Santa, but you care about them being religious? Yeah. It's a little different. Like I said, nobody goes into their adulthood believing in Santa. And it doesn't have anything, it has no negative effect whatsoever. No negative effect. It's done purely out of love. And when a child gets older, they're not going to be angry at their parents for fibbing to them about Santa or the Tooth Fairy or the Easter Bunny. It just doesn't happen. And if it does, then they need to seek family counseling. So yeah, so I just wanted to clarify that. And I hope that I made my points, and I'm really sorry if they came off offensive, because I really don't try to. I don't have anything against religious people. Let me make this clear. I hate religion. That's what I hate. I hate religion. People can join and leave a religion. It's not a person. So I don't dislike you, or I'm not bashing you, or I'm not bashing Christians. I'm bashing the belief system. And if you can't see the difference, then I'm sorry. You're choosing not to. But yeah, so I just wanted to put that out there. And have a wonderful holiday this year, guys. And I love Christmas. And I'm sure you do too. If you're in this country, you have to like Christmas. So yeah, so thank you for watching.